Today, I perform routine preventive maintenance on my split AC indoor unit. First, I turned off the circuit breaker, then unlatched and lifted the front panel. Next, I removed the two filter screens, which were covered with dust. The evaporator coil was clean because the AC unit gets light to moderate usage. Close the front panel and gently opened the vent flap. At the center of the vent flap was a keyed guide. I lowered the vent flap to the vertical position, pushed the key guide to release the vent flap, and carefully bent and removed the vent flap. On each end of the vent opening were two screws. I used a flat blade screwdriver to push the top of the screw covers and pried the covers out. I then removed bolt screws. Three clips held the top of the shell in place. Here's a close-up of a clip. Lifting and pulling released the clips. I was then able to remove the shell. Again, the evaporator was clean. I rinsed the filter screens with a spray hose, then opened the front panel, where the right hinge was easily removed, but the left hinge needed to be pried loose with a flat blade screwdriver. I removed the access door for the electrical hookups and reached under to release the hinges. I did this to avoid getting the foam wet and extending the dry time. The top of the shell was covered with dust, which was rinsed away with the spray hose. Same with the inside of the front panel. I placed them in the sun for a few minutes to dry and wiped with a waffle weave microfiber cloth to prevent water spots. Next, with my handy dandy Shark vacuum cleaner, I used the nozzle attachment to vacuum the dust and lizard droppings. Before switching to the brush attachment and brushing the evaporator coil in the same direction as the fins. Brushing across the fins will bend and damage them. The blower wheel was not very dirty. I'll keep an eye on it. I then cleaned the vent and guide vanes with a damp waffle weave microfiber cloth. Next came the drain pan with the drain on the right end. After cleaning the outside condenser unit the other day, I used a shop vac to vacuum the drain line. The drain pan slopes from the left to the right, and I used this New Line AC drain cleaner by pouring it into the left end of the drain pan, which flowed to the drain on the right end, down the drain, and out to a bucket. Please keep your pets from drinking the cleaner. I let the cleaner do its thing for 20 minutes. Then I filled the bottle with water and flushed the drain pan and line a couple of times. I carefully positioned the shell back onto the unit and snapped in the three top clips. I wiggled the shell onto the unit and checked that it was properly seated. To reinstall the vent flap, the motor on the right end mated with the slotted end of the vent flap. I inserted the right end and gently bent the vent flap to insert the left end. I lifted up the vent flap to verify that the keyed guide was properly engaged. I almost forgot to reinstall the two screws, screw covers, and filter screens. Turn the circuit breaker back on. Turn the AC unit on and enjoy the cool air.